Welcome to Meeple, uniting players around the world. A 30-minute exploration of PJ and Gareth's boardgame experiences from across both sides of the Atlantic. Each episode they share their thoughts and opinions on the world of board games, including their favourite themes, games, hot topics, and much, much more.
Hey, and welcome to episode 86 of Meeple, Origins Game Fair Recap. That's right. Just got back from Origins, and we're going to talk about it. And as always, I am PJ.
And I'm here. It's me, Gareth. It feels like, and maybe it doesn't feel like, it must be a month. I don't know. It's UK Games Expo.
Uh-huh.
And then...
And then you vanished. Vanished.
I went to see Taylor Swift.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Which we'll talk about a different day.
Yeah.
And then here we are.
That's right.
So I'm looking forward to hearing about your little gallivant into Origins.
So the first thing I want to say to you and to all of our listeners, I do not recommend going to a gaming convention for one day only.
It's hard, isn't it?
Trying to do it all in one day is ridiculous.
It's really hard, isn't it?
And guess what, Gareth? I'm gonna do it again in a few weeks.
Did you buy any games? Did you? Well, tell us about Origins.
I mean, there's a lot about Origins. But I'm gonna do so. I did not learn my lesson because I'm going to Gen Con for one day in a few weeks. So just want to get that out.
Which day?
I'm going to be on the Sunday.
Yeah.
Which I'm glad because as part of my experience at Origins, I learned Sunday is the right day to go.
Sunday is the day when you get to do stuff that no one's around for.
Yeah,
it's a bit less hectic.
It is. Yes, I agree. Origins. So Origins is great. I think the final numbers reported from the company was 17,000.
Okay.
Attendees.
Yeah.
I think their highest was 20 right before the pandemic, and then it dropped, and they're climbing back up, which is great. I love it. The aisles are wider. You're not getting knocked around by all the big game backpacks and everything. You have time to talk to the designers. You can see the entire vendor hall easily in one day. And by one day, I mean from open to close, which I think is like 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. So that's 7 hours?
Yeah.
You should be able to see everything.
And was there any new releases, or was it more? It's just okay. There are some games to buy, but most people do open gaming.
Yep. So you have open gaming with a games library that you can check games out and play.
Nice.
And then you have like the events area, and then you have the vendor hall. But to answer your question, new games and new releases and things, there were several games that have not yet come out that they were demoing and featuring. There was one game that just finished fulfillment and they were selling. And then the release. That was Caution Signs by Wacky Wizard Games, designed by Danielle Reynolds, who was in your neck of the woods last week. She was in London, and won an award. And then she is currently, where is she right now? She was in Croatia, and then she went to Bosnia. I think she's in Bosnia at this moment of recording, but she's in Eastern Europe, I think, taking a well-deserved vacation.
Nice, yeah.
Caution Signs, and we're going to have Danielle on at some point as a guest to talk more about Caution Signs, but let me tell you this game is so good. It is better than it has any right to be. It plays 3 to 9 players, and you have a dry erase caution sign in front of you. So like a yellow and black diamond, or a square if you turn it, but it's a diamond. You'll draw 2 cards. One is a caution, one is a sign. And essentially, it's an adjective and a noun is what it really is. But you don't look at it. And each player takes turns guessing, right? So once everyone's ready, you have 20 seconds. So they start the timer. You look at your 2 cards, and then you have to draw it on your sign. And you have 20 seconds to look at it, process it, draw it, and then the timer's up, and you put them all in front of the guesser, and the guesser has to guess them all. But you add 2 additional decoy cards to make it a little difficult. Yeah. And then if the guesser, for everyone the guesser gets right, they get 3 points. If they guess both words on your sign, you get 2. If she or he only guesses 1, then you get 1 point, but the guesser gets 0. And if she doesn't get it, he or she doesn't get it, you get 0. And that's the game. And you go around.
A lot of fun. My kind of game.
It's incredible. It is just amazing. I was watching Danielle at playtesting sessions all throughout, like in the past 6 months. She was always posting everywhere she went. She was playtesting this game, and I'm like, I have no idea what's going on, but people are drawing, and it looks interesting. And we played it, and oh my God, it is so much fun. Even the demo, just to learn to play it real quick, was just incredible. It's great with strangers. It's great with seasoned gamers, new gamers. Who cares? It's a lot of fun. That's Caution Signs by Wacky Wizard Games. It was pre-released at a limited release at UK Games Expo. And then it released at Origins. So you can get a copy now.
Yeah, it looks like Reynolds. Over here is the 1st of August.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, as in a proper release. Yeah. So it's only a month away. But yes, Dude, I've just added it to my
it's great.
Wish list of games.
It's so good. You got it. You got to do it. That's Caution Signs. Yeah.
Caution Signs.
Yep. So Danielle, we can't wait to talk to you more about this game in the future, because I know she listens to the show. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, it's just gone straight into the probably next game I end up buying.
So that was the release.
Yeah.
Purchase it, demo it, everything there. So that was the one game. Also, the lanyard featured Caution Signs on the lanyard for the badges, which is a lot of fun.
Nice.
There were 2 demos that stood out. The first one, I'm not going to say a lot about it because you've already talked about it, but I got to see a demonstration of SETI by CGE, and I'm going to tell you what, that's the hot game.
See, hot game, isn't it?
That is, everyone was talking about SETI. Oh my God. And the fact that what the demonstrator was showing, like the game's still not finished.
There's still art cards that still had
but
missing
that
artwork.
Game is incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, that is just yeah. I'm not going to repeat it because you said everything.
It feels like the hotness of Essen, doesn't it? It just feels like it's going to be. Okay, good. I'm glad that the UKG vibe of SETI being hot on the hotness is carrying its way over to the Atlantic.
This is what I did learn from Nathan at CGE. It's going to be released at Essen Spiel in Europe, and it will have a US release at PAX Unplugged in December. So
nice.
We're going to have to wait till December in the US. You'll get a copy before I will, but that's worthy. That's worthy.
Yes, for once. Yeah, Europe is first.
Oh yeah, you're first. Yes. And then I saw Estate.
Estate.
Yes, Estate by Grod Games. It's Devin and Catherine, and they're going to work with us to get us a copy in our hands so that we can play it. We're going to have them on the show. Estate, yeah.
ESTATE.
Yes. You're running a. So I picture it a little bit like Obsession. Aha. So there we go. We got Obsession into this episode. It's sort of like Obsession in that you're running an estate in England, but during the Middle Ages. And it's card driven rather than tiles, but it's pretty cool. We'll talk about it more when we get our preview copy. And
Estate Raise the Realm.
Yes,
found it. That was Estate. You get other games. I was puzzled then, but I found it.
Yep,
looks good.
It's really
me
beautiful.
The medieval theme. I love a medieval theme.
I know you do. So yeah, that's going to be. That was a fantastic game. So yeah, that one's not yet released. I think it's coming to Kickstarter October. And like I said, we'll have Devin or Catherine on the show in the future. I'll tell you what, that's what I did mostly. I did a lot of work for the podcast. I met with a lot of designers and started getting people scheduled and lined up. And that was
Nice.
that was fun because it gave me, I don't know if you felt this way at the Games Expo, but the podcast kind of gives me some direction and focus. When I go to game conventions, it's kind of, Katie and I, we do our homework. Okay, we want to see these booths. We want to demo these games. But I feel like I'm a little bit more focused because I have this.
Yeah. Well, but then squeezing that into one day is half the challenge, wasn't it? Because normally you spread the work side of things into 2 or 3 days. So doing both the socials and the gaming and shopping and trying to talk to people about,
exactly
the world of board games.
Yes, exactly. So
now you spoke to some people.
I did.
Do you want to play a recording?
Yeah, go ahead. Set us up. Who's first?
Should we go? I'm going to do it in the order you sent them to me. So we're going to go with Kristen first.
Yes, perfect.
Okay, cool.
Hi, I'm Kristen Mott. I'm family.boardgaming on Instagram. Some of my favorite moments from this year's Origins was getting to meet Roberta Taylor, designer of Creature Comforts and lots of other games. I had sort of this fangirl moment getting to meet a woman who I think is just a wonderful voice for female designers in this industry. So that was fun for me. And other big moments for me throughout the convention were just seeing some of my games out on the floor. Sharks was for sale with the Dietz Foundation, and then my game Insectarium that's coming out with Snowbright later this fall was available to be demoed in their booth. And so it was just a very fun, rewarding, and exciting experience for me, and being able to just stay up way too late and play lots of games with friends.
There you go.
Nice.
So if you haven't figured it out, Kristen is one of the most delightful people ever. So you got a copy. She sent you a copy of Sharks.
Yeah, Sharks.
We both played it. So here's the beauty of Kristen, and I really hope that our listeners take the time to follow her on Instagram and check out her work. She's got two games out, and this Insectarium's the third one that we got to play. They're focused towards educating children.
Yeah.
Both her and her husband, educating children are really important to the both of them. So they're really dedicated to that and pulling that into our board game community. Sharks was definitely an educational component. It's really focused more on children.
Yeah.
But she also did Dinosaur Exhibit, which was fantastic. A kind of a roll and write where you're building a museum and you're putting dinosaur exhibits into your museum. That game's a hit at our table. But she did mention in her recording that she's about to release Insectarium.
Is that a Kickstarter or is that a release?
That is going to be a Kickstarter, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
She'll message us and correct me.
Yeah, correct us. And what was Kristen's Instagram handle?
It's at family.boardgaming.
Nice.
Yeah. Insectarium was really cool. I mean, because it's the whole idea is that you're collecting insects and you've got like a 3x3 grid in front of you. You're playing those cards and you're trying to match the icons, but it's very informative. Like, again, it's geared towards kids. There's just enough strategy to keep adults engaged, much like Sharks, much like Dinosaur Exhibit. But yeah, it's all about teaching kids about insects. And that was cool. That was great. I was really glad I got to play that. Kristen is super humble. She needs all the support that we can give. And, when you meet her and you tell her, I love your game and I think you're fantastic. And she's like, no.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to hear that she's progressing and,
she's got a couple. I saw her at Geekway and she's working on something else. She's got a lot. Yeah. Kristen's you're going to be hearing more from her. I was with her when she met Roberta Taylor, the designer of Creature Comforts in Maple Valley and other games. That was a theme in Origins, was women designers and more women in the community. That came up a lot.
Did it?
In conversations, at panels, signage. There was definitely a theme of empowering women in the board gaming community as designers and publishers, not just as gamers. And yeah, that's great. I really applaud that. So,
How big is the panel scene over there?
it's for Origins, it's growing. It's still really small. Whereas Gen Con, it's just there's so many panels.
Yeah, but it's more around topics like women in gaming than just
right
like a podcast or
like a podcast.
Yeah, cool.
You shouldn't say it like that because you and I would love to have a panel about our podcast.
Yeah, but I know, it's more. There are more interesting topics than listening to a podcast get recorded live.
No, you're absolutely right. But yeah, so that was really exciting. I was really happy to see the advocacy of women in the community in that.
What else did you listen to or see or do?
So we saw a game called Sirens by Envy Born Games. So it's envy, like jealousy. Envy Born Games. It is a small 2-player game that you can hold in one hand. It's pretty yeah. So it's really cool. It's a card drafting game. You draft 4 cards. You play 3 of the. You play a card back and forth. You and your opponent. So you're fashioning a song, kind of like, and the picture, the artwork is done by Art Casey. It's like a Greek trireme. It's kind of set in the ancient Greek Aegean. Here's why I tell you about this game. What sets it apart from all other card drafting 2-player games is that you're creating a song. And we could get into all the details, but there's an app, just like Wingspan. It takes a picture of your cards and it reads the musical notes and it plays the song that you fashioned in your cards. And it's like that harpsichord, like an ancient, like you would get, oh my God, like a lute. And it was just fantastic. It was like, okay, we're going to get a copy of this game and we want to push more. Envy Born Games does a lot of these small 2-player
micro games.
And yeah, I had never heard of them, but we saw Sirens and we're like, okay, so I can listen to a song that I'm fashioning from the cards in front of me. I'm in. I'm sold.
Yeah,
it's great.
I love the artwork. The whole Greek piece, and I love that use of technology.
It's 1 to 2 players.
I'm intrigued.
10 to 15 minutes, and that's true. I mean, we could play a couple games in half an hour to an hour, easy. Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's pretty.
Sirens by Envy Born Games.
Is that released now, or is it?
It is. No, it's out. You can purchase it today.
Can see if it's a UK release. Yes, it's in stock.
There you go.
Only one shop in the UK's got it in stock.
Well, then you better get
a shop I've never even heard of. All Rolled Up. There's some advertising for All Rolled Up. Never heard of them as a shop. £14.99. There's only 3 left in stock.
Well,
that could be it. Be about to be 2 in a minute once I've.
You need to get that. So who's next?
Number 2 on the list was our friend Adam.
Oh yeah.
Here we go.
So Origins 2024 was a blast. Got to hang out with PJ and lots of other content creators, which is always such a fun time, hanging out with friends and building a relationship with them, as well as going all over Origins, meeting publishers, playing games. I think the highlight for me was get to play Insectarium with Kristen Mott and our whole content creator gang. It's so much fun. What a blast. Can't wait to see everybody again at Gen Con and or PAX.
I mean, nicely lined up. I mean, you couldn't have asked for a perfect segue from one
I told you
to the next.
Yeah. So I picture Kristen listening to this episode and just blushing from ear to ear. She's like, oh my God. I'm like, nope. Kristen, you're awesome and we love you.
And what games did you play with Adam? Did you actually play games or did you just hang out?
No, well, we did a lot. Kristen, Adam kept himself busy. He was rocking it. His platform, Tabletop Vibes, is just really they're kicking it out of the park with their first impression videos on YouTube. So be sure to check them out. We played Insectarium. He was one of the ones we played Insectarium together. We played Caution Signs together.
Yeah.
The whole group, everyone, I think pretty much everybody you're going to hear from. We all had dinner together Friday evening, and then we went back to the table and played a few more games. Yeah. We didn't get in a lot of games, but probably I'm going to tell you the same game for everybody.
Same game.
We really didn't play a lot of games because it was like meeting people, going to dinner, doing this and that. But
and it was only a day.
And it was only a day. Yeah. I don't recommend it, folks. Don't do a single day.
It's hard to do a hard day. Do you want to do another? Do you want to do another one straight away?
Yeah, I want to say one more thing about Adam. So Adam's wife is like about to have a baby. Like I think she's due in a few weeks. So we want to offer our congratulations to Adam. We may not. I don't know. He said Gen Con. I don't know that we're going to see him at Gen Con. Because he's going to have a newborn and he's going to be pretty busy. I know he's sweating it, but my Rose bro, I love you.
Yeah, I have loads of time to do content now, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Maybe in one arm, video
microphone in the other. There you go.
Piece of cake. Easy.
So who we got? Who's next after Adam?
Next, I've got Sam. Who is Sam?
Sam.
This is Sam Barmettler with Around the Stump Games. I would have to say my favorite part about Origins was definitely the relaxed atmosphere. It led to an opportunity to actually be able to engage with other board gamers instead of just having to go through people very rapidly while working a booth. I would say a strong second runner-up was the giant bear hug that I got from PJ as soon as I saw him.
Can't beat a PJ giant bear hug, can you? Did you crush him?
I mean, I tried. So for those of you, if you don't remember, Sam is the designer of Outrun the Bear. He has a new game that's coming out, and
Outrun PJ.
Outrun PJ, yeah. We got to chat with him. He's still in production, working on it, but he was kind of demoing a prototype, which was cool. We got to visit with him for a little bit. I like how he described Origins as a relaxed atmosphere.
Yeah, it's nice.
I think that's probably accurate. Gen Con's really high stress. It's constantly on the go.
Yeah.
Now, granted, Origins was a little high stress for me because it was constantly moving, but it was good to see Sam. We'll have him on the show when he's ready to talk about his.
Oh, definitely.
His
that was
next
a great
game.
episode last time. And he's talk about that. He's pointing around the relax. Where does PAX sit? Is that less, even more chilled, or?
So it depends on who you talk to. So I've never been to PAX. The reason I've not been to PAX is it's in Philadelphia in the first week in December, which is like 3 weeks before Christmas. So trying to wrangle all that in the middle of the holidays is a challenge. Now, I know a lot of our friends do it, but mostly the people in New England who are in the northeastern part of the United States, they can make it because Philadelphia is there. But people love it. I've heard nothing but good things. I've heard it's really chill.
Good stuff. Yeah.
I suspect that it's more chill than Origins.
I'd love to have a winter con. Like,
oh yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
because they're all in the summer and it's always hot, and I quite like a.
Well, you need one based in Southampton is what you need to do, because that would be feasible, right?
It'd be easy for me, but very convenient.
There you go. Get everybody to come down instead of going up to Birmingham or wherever.
Yeah,
right.
I'll try it. I've got to think of winter meeple, or maybe I can't use that word anymore. So maybe it's winter Hugh meeple or whatever it might be. Any other highlights before we listen to that video?
So we had one event. I talked about it in my preview where I went solo. Katie and I we got to learn how to play Dabba Walla.
Say it again.
Dabba Walla.
How do you spell that?
DABBA.
DABBE.
WALLA. It's by Queen Games, our good friends at Queen Games.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
Mumbai
it's really
Food
cool.
Express.
Yes. So we got to play a full game, learn to play and then play a full game, 4 players. So it was Katie and I and 2 other people we had never met before. And then they had it for sale because their Kickstarter fulfilled. They were selling them. So that was good. So we picked up a copy of Dabawala, and God, we love that. That's cool. It's a polyomino tile stacking game, a la Acropolis number 9.
Okay. Yeah.
Except you don't want any gaps, right? You're basically just like the Dabawala in Mumbai, right? You're stacking up the Daba, on your bicycle.
And you're
gonna
I do like the artwork.
You're gonna deliver. It's
really colourful.
It is really good. Okay.
Yeah.
It is heavy.
Quite light.
It's lightweight, but the strategy is deep. I'm just saying. It's easy to comprehend, but difficult to master. Queen Games, Dabawala. We got a free copy of Finish Line as part of the purchase, which was kind of fun.
Oh yeah, that's a horse racing.
It is, and it's
I'd not
fantastic.
heard of that. When you posted the other day about it, I looked it up and thought it looked quite interesting.
Right? No, it's cool. It is a fun game. We played with some friends yesterday here at the house, and Finish Line was a lot of fun. But
Nice.
Dabawala is serious. It is so good, right? Queen Games, right? Queen Games, when they hit it out of the park. You know what I mean? Like, their games are just so good.
Yeah, we're still playing Marrakesh, which is what we picked up last year.
So are we. Yeah. In fact, I think we have, Katie and I were just talking about Queen Games, and we have 6 games in our collection.
I was just thinking the same thing. We've got certain games by Queen Games. I'm looking up to see one now. We got Shogun up there, I can see.
Yep. My oldest one is from 2007. So even their older games still hold up.
Yeah, Amerigo.
Amerigo.
Yeah, that's still in the collection, and we're very. I mean, it's all a bit beige, but I still like the mechanics of the tower and the cubes and the rondel. I'm sure that's got a rondel mechanic in it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
See, all this in a day.
All in a day. Keep that in mind, kids. All in a day.
Okay, so number 4, we have Ben lined up.
Ben,
let's
good
click
guy.
on number 4.
Hey, this is Ben from Games with Ben. My favorite part of Origins 2024 was probably playing Marrakesh. I just love the crunchiness of that game and the cool cube tower where some of the cubes get stuck on the way down. It's very unique. And I gotta also mention Flip Town. It's a new flip and write game that I really, really enjoyed. It's just with a standard deck of cards. So pretty cool concept, and really enjoyed learning that one and look forward to playing it more.
I'd just like to say that I haven't listened to these clips. So I didn't know that Marrakesh was the highlight. So these segues between episodes, you wouldn't even think about it.
I know. So Ben lives in Cincinnati. So he's only like an hour from Columbus, which is where Origins is. So this was an easy trip for him.
Easy one.
Ben is really interesting. If you go to his Instagram and follow him, he has a series where you track. He's trying to knock out his board game backlog, which is substantial, right? It's really interesting how he does it, and he takes you on that journey. He'll post his stats. 575 games, this percentage.
Yeah.
I like that he does that. That's really cool. That's what he's most known for. He told me something interesting. Game conventions are good opportunities for him to knock out his board game backlog.
Yeah.
Like, this is when he gets his games played, get a big push, 4 or 5 days of just back-to-back
particularly if you
gaming.
find people who have played them, then you can play the games that you haven't played and somebody else has taught you.
He and I talked about Queen Games a lot, so it was not surprising that he mentioned Marrakesh, because I think when I saw him first, he had dinner with us later that evening, but I ran into him. He was getting ready. We had just finished the Learn to Play of Dabawala. He was about to engage in a Learn to Play of Vienna which is part of the city collection for Queen Games. So, also Queen Games has a new social media marketing agent. I'm not really sure. Her name's Rachel. So she's kind of consolidating all of the social media. She runs their TikTok.
Nice.
And she's trying to get everything consolidated in Instagram and other socials.
Yeah, because I'm sure last time I looked, they had about 6 different social media accounts.
They do.
Different countries, and
they're trying to tighten it up.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So got to chat with Rachel a good bit. Made some contacts. She's going to get us on the list for their upcoming games so that we can work more with Queen. So that'll be fun. And you'll hear more about Queen Games.
Ben mentioned Fliptown. So that was probably my favourite flip and write from last year.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
It's really hard. I think it's really hard to find. It was a Kickstarter, but the deck of cards, playing through, excellent. If you can find it, highly recommend it myself as well.
There you go, guys. You heard it here. Who do we have next?
Abby?
Yeah.
Number 5.
I
should have put these in order. There we go.
Hey, it's Abby. Do you even game? So, my favorite experience of Origins was getting to talk to all the publishers and getting some review copies, and the fact that they see worth in my account and want to share their product with me.
So I want to tell you a little bit about Abby. I have not yet met her.
So how did you go? Different day?
Yeah, no. So we were part of a chat group for Geekway in St. Louis, and we missed each other because guess what PJ did? He went to Geekway for one day. So he missed Abby. We were in the same chat group for Origins.
Nice.
And guess what PJ did? He went to Origins for one day, and he missed Abby. And so we were chatting after Origins, and I was like, listen, send me a soundbite. Tell me your favorite event. Tell me your favorite moment. I want to get you on the show. And we're going to, remember, I'm going to Gen Con for one day.
One day.
It really is the one-day conventions for PJ this year. I hopefully will see Abby at that point.
I'm just admiring the guinea pig.
Right?
It makes often a feature in Abby's account. So do space you as in you to you dot even dot game.
Game, yeah. Do you even game?
What a question.
So I like what Abby said. She was talking about how designers and publishers saw worth in her account. And I think that we, for whatever reason, I don't know why we do this to ourselves, and present company included. Okay. I'm guilty of it. We don't see our own worth. And we always think, oh, this publisher's not going to want to work with me, or that designer's not going to want to talk to me, or that podcaster's too famous to even know my name. And that's not the case.
Never.
No. So just to drive that point home. So I connected with as Cadelia and Professor Meg before Origins.
Yeah.
And the whole thing was, look, I'm only going to be there for a day. Even if I could just come by, say hi, get a hug, that's cool. And they were very, very accommodating. And these are famous people in the community, right? I saw them, but they were chatting with someone. And you never know when someone's in a meeting because they are actually employed with some of these companies. So I'm not going to, I don't want to be that guy, right? So I'll come by later. And then I'd come back and they looked like they were talking and I didn't. So I sent them a message and they were like, you absolutely should have come and said hi. We wanted to see you, and it's like that makes me feel good. It's like, okay, so I do have worth. I am doing something. People do see the work that we produce. And they want to share that joy. So there you go. We're all worthy.
Always go and say hello.
Yes.
Unless they're filming something like that would be really awkward.
That would be awkward.
But yeah,
that would be awkward. So there you go. Everyone's got worth. Who's next?
Who is next? Next is Laura.
Laura. Yep.
Where's number 6? There it is.
Here we go.
This is Laura of Obsessed with Board Games. One of my favorite Origins experiences was running a demo table at the All Play booth. I was able to demo Things and Rings a lot of the time, which has gotten some attention on social media lately. People are getting excited about it coming out. And I loved teaching people. It was so much fun to watch people come up with theories, to have their minds blown when I proved their theories wrong, and choose whether or not to work together to try to figure out what the different rules were that they were trying to uncover. And ultimately, just watching people have fun and connect, whether they came there as a group or whether they walked up individually as strangers, bonding over games, is really what it's all about.
Things in Rings. I mean, this looks like
Didn't you see
it's
it?
all about Venn diagrams. I've not played before, and
It is. Oh, you didn't see it at the Games Expo?
No, must have missed it completely. And I like a Venn diagram, so looking good.
It was interesting. So there was a group of us. There were 4 or 5 of us, and we knew that Laura was working the table, so we waited for her to finish a demo, and we all got to. She got to demo it with us. It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's not for me. It didn't really sing to me. I was like, okay, great, yep, all right, yeah.
What fell flat?
Well, I'm not smart enough. That's just it. So the idea is one of the circles is about the word on your card. One of the circles is about the attribute of what's on the card. And the other one is the context under which the card is inserted. But you don't know what the word attribute.
Yeah,
you don't know what those are.
Rules. You have to work out the rules. I'm just reading the high level summary on Board Game Geek, and
I'm really bad at that. Sorry. Yeah, I'm the worst.
Yeah. I'm looking at it. I mean, I think I'd want to play it.
Laura did a great job. Love Laura to death. She is absolutely one of the greatest people ever. She lives in St. Louis. We try to see her every time we go. An amazing person, an amazing gamer, and she's a good teacher. She taught that game. I mean, I understand it's not uber complex, but it's still, she engaged everyone at the table. And even though she was friends with some of us, there were a couple of strangers at the table. She did not care.
Yeah, it's a good teacher.
You could see her joy in teaching the game. That's what I love about this community, is that we get to share joy in all aspects. It's not just a bunch of people spending time slinging dice and flipping cards. You know, I know that sometimes that's the impression on the outside. That's the impression that our hobby gets. But this is one of the most intimate experiences, being at a table, opening yourself up and playing a game. And
with Venn diagrams. I mean, that's not
with Venn diagrams.
See, it's all come crumbling down.
There you go.
Venn diagrams.
You try to be meaningful and insightful, and Gareth just
with Venn diagrams. Anyway, I have subscribed to see more, but it's not out in the UK. That one isn't out.
Yep.
And then finally we have Jerry.
Jerry.
Hey PJ, so good to see you at Origins again, buddy. So some of my favorite moments included when our friend Kristen Mott taught us her new game Insectarium that's coming out in a few months. Great to play that game with her and some fellow friends that we have. Also, the time we were all sitting around a big table playing Danielle Reynolds' new game Caution Signs, which brought so many laughs and just so much enjoyment of all the people around us. A game that stood out to me in particular individually, I know a lot of people would say SETI, and that is just an amazing looking game, but I'm going to go with a game from Smirk and Dagger, and that's called Hi-Fi. This game jumped out at me because you open the box and it looks like an old school, turntable, record player, whatever you want to call it. And when you turn the record, that is how you do your action selection. You are trying to create songs for the B-side of a group called the Meeples, which is kind of a takeoff of the Beatles. And even the rule book looks like an old cover of Rolling Stone, except for instead of Rolling Stone, it's called the Ruling Book. So that one looks really, really, really good. So I'm excited to see that one. And just was so great to see all of our fellow friends and gamers and creators and experience Origins for the first time. I will definitely be back.
Again, what a great summary of the entire episode. And a game I'd never heard of called Hi-Fi, which has also piqued my interest.
Jerry hit it all, yeah. And I didn't pay Jerry to do that.
I mean, new games, old games, and just the hanging out and playing games with your friends and having an awesome time.
He hit it all.
Did you play Hi-Fi?
I did not. I saw it very briefly. Again, you're trying to cram everything in one day, Jerry was working. Jerry was working it, because his platform, Tabletop Worldwide, he is killing it. He's got, the followers and the content. I mean, you could tell he's a content creator. He's so professional. The rest of us, he makes us look like slobs, I mean, he was just working meetings, meeting designers, getting behind the scenes, So I would have seen Hi-Fi if I would have probably done more days. Once again, don't do one day.
Don't do one day.
Don't do it.
So, you've gone to get something.
I did. So I promised that I would make this mention in closing. This is not Origins. It was just before Origins. I honestly just reaching out. I mean, you've heard me say this before. There's not enough of me to go around, and I spend so much time just connecting with everyone, seeing how they're doing, how's their health, how's their job, whatever. So I reached out to our friend Tate Wu. And he, if you remember Gen Con last year, we play tested his game in the Stars.
I'm sure it's a Stars game. Yes.
It was a roller.
Yeah.
Well, for whatever reason, things happened. He had to abandon that project. He just recently finished a project on Kickstarter called Aqua. And he sent me the pocket version of Aqua.
It's cute.
It's a 2-player game. By the way, it is still time. You can go to Kickstarter for late pledge. Aqua, AQUA. It's a set collection game of art. The publisher is Sunrise Tornado. So check it out. Tate Wu. Yep. It's 18 cards, pack of 18 cards. You got some visitor tokens because you're going to move them around the board. So you and I are trying to score. We're playing cards in front of each other, and we're in disagreement on our priority of where exhibits should be placed in the museum. I want to score columns. You want to score rows, and you're just trying to put sets together to score points. I told him that I would, since he sent me a copy for free, I wasn't even looking for it. He mentioned that he was working on Aqua. I looked it up and I'm like, how did I miss this? I know I'm busy, but so Tate Wu, Sunrise Tornado, Aqua. And so Katie and I were playing it in the open gaming area at Origins Friday morning. We were waiting for the vendor hall to open. And so we're reading the rules and we're playing it for the first time. And you just hear the loud, booming voice of our friend Brian, 926 games. And that's it. And then the day just took off from there. But I wanted to get in, Tate. When you're listening, thanks again for the game. Really love it. Check it out, guys.
I like the artwork.
It's beautiful.
I do like these simple games, which is just made up of 18 cards. A game I'd probably miss, but it looks really interesting. I like this sort of small pack games.
Perfect travel games. Yeah, perfect travel game. I think you and Kira would enjoy playing that. Hit the table. You don't want to have to pull out something. There you go. So that, my good friend was Origins Game Fair 2024.
So what's the next event you've got?
Gen Con.
Which is August.
So it's 1st to the 4th, but I'm going on the 4th only because I'm glutton for punishment. And I'm an
That's right,
idiot.
you're on the last day. I think our next one is ScootCon.
Oh,
So that's later in the year.
That's in Sussex, right?
Yeah, it's next time we see friends, I think. But we have got quite a few Instagrams coming up to our house over the next couple of weekends.
Good.
Next weekend, I will not be here again because we have the British Grand Prix, but you've got a plan. So you've got something lined up to record, so that is good.
So I'm going to give you just
you're
a
off
little...
the week afterwards, aren't you?
I'm off because I'm at a work conference, so I won't be around.
Yeah.
So, July and August.
Can't you do a special recording episode there?
I mean...
That'd be quite interesting. You got a whole board game night, non-gamers.
I do. I am...
Or are you mixing work with pleasure now?
Yes, because it's a professional work.
Yeah.
And my wife is the president of the organization.
That case, you get a free pass. You get a free pass.
Well, no, I don't get a free pass. I do not. You know I don't get a free pass at all. No, indeed. But I will plug real quick. So check out next week's episode. I am going to be interviewing the designer of an upcoming game called Prestige, where I personally wrote some of the event cards that are in the game. And you'll hear us talk about it. So that's going to be fun. It's the first game where I've written, are you kidding me? A game is coming to Kickstarter and I wrote some of the content for it. What?
See, look at you grow.
I know. Look at me.
Oh,
I
can't wait to hear Origin, to hear Gen Con next.
Oh, that's coming up. We'll see how that goes. Now we're going to have to figure out what we're going to do because that's a Sunday and that's usually the day that we actually record.
Yeah. And then after that, I'm away for 2 weeks.
Guys, we need
backup because I'm definitely I'm not in the country. So we're going to need some backup.
So this is summertime.
Yeah. Okay.
There it is.
It's like the UK chat shows when the normal hosts go on holiday and everyone can take over the show. In fact, both of us can have a holiday and some other people will just take over.
I think that's the goal, right?
So DM us and then you can be summer hosts.
Hosts.
PJ, thank you for sharing your Origins recap. Was it? That's what the episode was called?
That's it. Yeah.
I have spent some money because there's now only 2 copies left of Sirens, so that's on its way. I thought it'd be great for the Grand Prix. Perfect.
No, that's perfect.
Perfect. Just
that would
evenings, summer nights. Looks like it might rain, so that may not be so good.
You know what would be good when the Grand Prix is Aqua.
Yeah, that won't get here in time.
No.
I've got 3 days to go. So with that, thanks everyone for listening. And we will speak to you all again soon.
Thanks everyone for listening. Please subscribe. And as always, we love to hear your thoughts and ideas. So make sure to leave those in the comments. And don't forget, you can also chat with us both on Instagram @Meeple to Meeple.